happy to see you guys around the world. So hi everybody. Thank you guys for joining. This is our normal book club time, but we decided to open it up to everybody because this month we read the book titled Lessons from an Angel by yours truly. So there were other people who read the book, so I just wanted to open it up to other people who read it and wanted to share their insights. We're very informal in book club. We just like to chit chat about the books. This is going to be different because I actually wrote the book, so facilitating it when I actually wrote it is very interesting. But thank you guys for joining in. As you guys know, I just completed my book tour. It was, I think, 7 cities, and I went around to different cities. My last stop was in Dallas, Texas, a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing. I actually had 6 members from the book club show up in Dallas, which is awesome because that means that we are global and we are around the nation. We are international, I'll say that. We are around, and I thought that was a real big blessing for me, seeing all of you guys at the Dallas book signing. And I had other locations in DC and Florida, in Melbourne. I see my Melbourne family on the line, in Alabama, and upcoming in October, I'm going to be going back to Oklahoma, where Angel was stationed at. We're going to do something for Domestic Violence Awareness Month there. And then I will be back in Melbourne, Florida, actually September 22nd. I have another book signing down there. So if you're in that area, feel free to stop by and see me. So yes, how many of y'all actually have the book? I'm curious. I should put some polls in here so I can see who y'all can raise y'all hands or whatever. Hit the little icon, show me how many of y'all actually.
For a long time. I mean, that would be so crazy though, and weird. And
Demond,
I don't want
Demond, you got open mic, son.
Demond got an open mic. Yes, it would be so crazy. It would be crazy. But yes, so did you guys enjoy the book? I really, you guys already know the story. I don't have to share it again. It was a tribute that I wrote about my best friend, about friendship. When she passed away, the circumstances from the way she passed away had a lot of negative energy attached to it. And I wanted something positive to be out there to remember her by, because she was so much more than the way she was taken from us. So I wrote a book about friendship. I wanted to share the things that I learned. This book really helped me in my grieving process. I lost Angel on January 18, 2020, and it was really hard for me. I really was shut down. I wasn't able to express myself or say the things that I wanted to say. So I began journaling, and I journaled, and one day I looked at it, and my neighbor, Anaya, was like, this could be a book. And I was like, really? And I was like, I just been writing down all my memories. Like, we all have great memories of our friends and just the fun times. I just was trying to remember like all the fun times, all the things that I could think of to remember Angel by, because the trauma was just, I couldn't remember stuff. So I was like, I have to write this down because I have to remember my best friend. I have to remember, she would want me to remember this. So as I started to remember stuff, I started thinking like, wow, she really taught me a lot. And like, I always bragged, like even when Angel was alive, I used to always be like, y'all not best friends the way we are. Like, y'all not the way we are. And I used to always brag about it. And one of my friends, Angel, had came home, and I was like, hey girl, and we were so excited to see each other. And one of my friends was like, y'all are obsessed with each other. And I was like, I am, because that's what a best friend is about. But now that she's not here no more, I realized we did kind of have a one-of-a-kind relationship. And I wanted to share that with the world, because I feel like in 2023, a lot of people aren't, they don't take the time to build and perfect their friendships, their platonic friendships. Like a lot of stuff in our society is geared towards relationships, is geared towards, basically the things you go through in life, having a job or job relationships, familial relationships. But I think that we oftentimes neglect our friends, and sometimes we don't treat our friends the way we should. because it's those things. It's one of those. It's like one of the things where people say, like with your family, you treat them kind of bad because you know they're always going to be there. And sometimes people have a tendency to do their friends like that, and that's why a lot of people don't take friendships seriously, because people are often out for themselves. They're often looking for themselves, looking out for themselves, and not worried about people who aren't family. Like, and me growing up as a military brat, I always lived far from my family. So the friends that my parents had, their kids, those were my family. So I've always cherished friendships. Angel was kind of my first friend that lasted throughout the years, because she lasted even when I moved. She lasted when I went to college. She lasted through the test of friendship. Even when we decided to, go different paths, like I went to college, she went to the military, it still lasted. And that's how I knew that she was a real friend, a friend that would be there, until the end. And I think it's important that people take more time to pay attention to their friendships. Even growing up, I always been a good friend. I've always had a lot of friends. I've always been very loyal to my friends. I've always taken friendship very seriously, but there have been people around me who are like, they're just a friend. Why does that matter? Or, just anything kind of negative in a negative tone. And I've always thought about friendship as something positive. So I really wanted to share the things that Angel taught me. And in the book, I have the 42 keys, and 42 is no significant number. I just was going to keep writing until I stopped writing. And I probably could have wrote more, but I was just thankful when I decided to turn my journal into a book that there were keys that could help other people. And then I have the quotes on friendship, and it was just important for me to make sure that even though I wrote this as a tribute to Angel, I wanted it to also help people. Like, I want this book to go far. I want it to be shared with high school girls, the mean girls in school. And friendships are really hard to cultivate when you're in high school. And eventually I'm working on a devotional now where it's the keys to friendship, but backed up with biblical principles. And I want to do Elizabeth Johnson on here. She's a children's author. I would like to do a children's book, turn this book into a children's book, so that kids, younger children can understand, certain principles on what it's like to be a good friend. So I think I asked you guys before who actually had the book. I don't know if y'all put it in the chat, but I see a few of y'all. Raise your hand if you have it. If you don't. Oh, y'all got the book. Yes, good. So does anybody want to share like their their first glimpse of the book, or what they thought about when they first saw the book?
Sure.
Hey, Ingrid.
Hey, I'm gonna say this book was hard for me to read. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
I'm happy you wrote the book. I'm sorry you lost your friend. I love you. I'm always support you. But I did not want to read this book because I also lost a friend while I was in the military to domestic violence. So I just wasn't ready to open that wound again. But reading your book, it made it like beautiful. Like you said, take away the negative things that were attached to that and make it into something positive. And that's something that I have not been able to do. I've just been super angry. Every time I get these little letters from, the prison about this person is trying to get paroled, I'm like, nope, I'm going to be right on over there. And if you get out, you're going to be ended up in the dirt. So I was angry and letting it consume me. But reading this book is like, you don't have to be angry. You can't control that. And you can look at the good that this person brought into your life and the things that they change. And although my friend wasn't my best friend, she still had a major impact on my life. So I appreciate you for writing the book and remembering your friend in such a beautiful way. I love seeing all the beautiful pictures, and it just made me feel a sense of security in my friendships and how I needed to look at myself and how I'm showing up for others the way that you and Angel did. So I greatly appreciate it and I love it.
Thank you so much for sharing. And yes, I totally understand. You kind of don't realize how big of an impact people have on your life until they're gone. And I really wanted people to understand, cherish those friends that are in your life while they're here. Thank you for sharing that. And it really was a blessing. When Angel passed away, I just had such an overwhelming presence. Like the Lord just gave me so much strength. He gave me so much strength to go through this. And it was hard for me to write the book. But like you said, I didn't want to be angry. I didn't want to give that person my energy. Like I just didn't want to do that because I felt like a lot of people were giving their energy towards the hate. And I just was like, if Angel was alive, anyone who knew Angel, she would want us to remember her for who she was and not dwell in our pain. So yes, it was hard, but I really feel the Spirit of the Lord on me as I was able to move through that season of my life, and it's still ever so present. But I just continue to continue. And it's hard to focus on the good, especially when you get the parole hearings and the letters and the updates from court. And people don't know, but I was back and forth to court with Angel's family for the last 3 years. In custody court, we were back and forth for criminal court. We were just back and forth to court for the last 3 years. And it was a lot. It took a grave toll on her family. And a few of you know that her dad actually passed away on her birthday shortly after we finally got the verdict. And getting the verdict was kind of a release. It was one part of the release. It wasn't the whole release, but it was one part of the release. And actually, after we got the verdict, I was able to go and I wrote the book in 3 weeks. I was able to cultivate the book in 3 weeks because I was finally able to release and move forward. So thank you for sharing that. I'm happy that it helped you be able to reflect on some of the positive things. Ingrid, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else want to share? Oh, and also I will say thank you also for sharing that, because there's other people on this line who have lost their very close friends to domestic violence. And in me talking to them, I feel like God also placed me in a unique position to be able to help them express what they're feeling. When Angel passed away, I kind of felt like I had no one really to talk to, because I only knew a few people who have lost their best friend, and then a few people who lost someone who was that close to them that wasn't family. I had people tell me things like, she was just your friend, or why do your parents know her, or stuff like that. And I was just like, Angel was more than just a friend to me. And it was hard for me. So as I've gone, I've talked to people who've also lost their close friends to domestic violence. And I was able to, basically talk them through it, or tell them that, they're not alone, that the things that you're thinking are alone. Because a lot of things that I went through when Angel passed away that I'm still dealing with now were kind of hard for me to express to certain people, because I felt like they didn't understand, like simple stuff. I mean, it may be simple to other people, but it's big to me, like dating. Like I'm literally kind of scared to date now, because I'm just like, people are crazy. They can snap at any moment. And that's something that people take so for granted, where they don't have to deal with, like, you don't have that in the back of your mind all the time. Like I have a whole bunch of thoughts, negative thoughts. And then I still work in the military environment. When somebody in uniform walks past me, sometimes I think like, oh, is he crazy? Like that person. Like I just often have like negative thoughts in my head. But as I always say, the Lord God really gives me a sense of strength and a sense of peace to keep it moving forward, and to be there for Angel's mom, and to be there for Angel's sister, and just to be a support. Even though I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with, I'm thankful, because prayer and therapy, I tell everybody, Jesus and therapy, because those are the two things that have got me through. Anyone else want to share?
That's true. That's true. And the thing about the relationships too, it made me look at relationships differently. And I like to say self-sabotage some relationships, because I didn't want to end up in that situation. And just being able to trust people in general. And it also made me question the loyalty of the military while I was serving. So I guess I didn't think about it that way until you mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Yeah. Thanks.
And the military, they definitely have to take a stance on the violence against service women, servicemen, because a lot of things are swept often under the rug. Those of you who grew up in the military life, is swept under the rug. And if prior incidents weren't swept under the rug, Angel will be here with us today. So that's definitely something that needs to be talked about more. Yes, as my father says, it's not just the military, it's a lot of places. So those of you who read the book, what was your favorite key? There were a bunch to choose from. So thank you guys for just joining.
I don't have the book before me, so I can't remember my favorite key, because like all of them were really, really good. Really good keys to live by. But one thing I noticed was that y'all took a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
I was like wanting to get to the next key so I could see the next picture. And then to get to here and finish this, I get to the next picture. So I took away from that, just cherish the moment every time you're with a friend. Take pictures, because like people often say, well, be in the moment, but then and then so you'll try to not take pictures and post on social media and all that stuff, but you should at least take pictures, because now you're able to look back on all those memories and create a lesson from each one of those pictures. So just live in the moment and record it by taking pictures, no matter what you're doing. Because I'm like, they took a lot of pictures.
Yes.
So I enjoy seeing y'all together. It's a very beautiful relationship. I'm sorry you lost your friend. But it does give you hope that those type of relationships really do exist. So thank you for writing the book. It was beautiful. From cover to cover, it was beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yes, I often get a lot of backlash on picture taking, like, you always on the phone, or you always do this. And I wasn't like that before. Angel loved to take pictures. Like, anybody know Angel, she was fine. So she was always taking pictures. So I would just jump in, and we really didn't even post all these pictures. Like, a lot of times, I remember like the week Angel passed away, somebody asked her if me and her were still friends, because they weren't aware that me and her were best friends, because we never posted each other on our social medias. We just always would post and, keep it for our memories. So as I was looking through those pictures, that's when I was like, oh, I remember such and such happened at this time, and I learned this during this time, and all that stuff. And I was able to reminisce. And even the people who say stuff like negative to me about taking pictures now, because I always cherish the moment, especially now that Angel's here, because if I didn't take all them pictures then, I would really have nothing but memories. And sometimes memories get foggy when you're grieving. So I'm so happy that I have pictures. And sometimes I find new pictures of us, and I'm like, wow, like those were good times. But one thing I always learned was to cherish the moment. Like my dad, he was in the military. He was a drill sergeant when I was young. So a lot of things he missed when I was growing up, just simple stuff like taking me to school, or maybe a practice here or there, or a competition here or there. But when he retired, when I was in high school, he walked me to the bus stop every morning, and people used to be like, why she got her dad walking to the bus stop? But I enjoyed that, because he really showed us how to cherish the moment with your kids. And even when he was working, like in his adult life, and after retirement life in his new job, if something was going on in the family, it didn't bother him to take off. He was going to be there. And that's how I am now. Like just this weekend, I'm at a really busy time in my job right now, but I was like, you know what? I found a ticket for cheap. I'm going to go see my mom for her birthday, because she only turns 55 once. So I really understood what it's like to cherish the moment, because you never know when people aren't here anymore, and you don't want to take those moments for granted, because a lot of times they don't come back around. So I'm just always grateful that me and Angel, every time we were together, we cherished the moment. Like there was even a period of time when we would always be like, this might be our last time together, so we're going to party, or we're going to do this. And it's just always ironic to me, because we used to always say that, like, this could be our last time, not knowing that it really could have been our last time. But we always cherishing the moment with each other. And I'm so happy that we recognize that while she was alive.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was going to say, to piggyback off the pictures and cherishing the moment. So with my girlfriend who was killed, the same, domestic violence, I wish I had taken more pictures with her. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Cheryl's situation is very recent, so pictures are definitely a memory, a snapshot saved in time. It definitely is. I'm super grateful that I have all the pictures that I have, especially for Angel's son. So when he grows up, he can see all the pictures. Like, I wrote this book for her son so that he can see, like, Angel was a great person to not just me, but you guys have seen the tributes in the book from other people. She was a good friend to many people, many people. Anybody else? Ingrid shared after the glow up. Oh, go ahead, Alexis. I think I can.
Okay. Hi, ladies. Yes, I was trying to get off mute. But yes, I wanted to say, Shay, I'm very honored that you wrote this book, because the times that we're living in these days, people are really going through a lot. And when I discuss this book with people that I know, acquaintances, friends, families, whoever, it just really stands out, because people are quick to say, oh, this is a friend, that's a friend. But people don't really know the true meaning and the value of what a true friend really is. And the main key that stuck out for me was key 20, about friends that choose you. Because it doesn't matter what you're going through, you're going to choose your friend if you're friends. Now, they're not going to go along with your wrongdoing, because that's not what a friend does. But when a friend chooses you through thick and thin, that's how you know who your friends are. Or when you're going through something, it doesn't even always have to be something that's detrimental. It could be something that is a glorious moment for you during that season in your life. But somebody that's just genuinely there for you, they're happy for you, and they just share those moments with you. So I'm very appreciative that you wrote this book, because I feel that a lot of people this day and time do not know the true meaning of being a friend or a friendship. So thank you, Shay.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
That's funny that you say a friend is not gonna be with you when they wrongdoing, because Angel, when parents be like, if your friend jump off a bridge, would you jump off? If Angel jumped off a bridge, I probably would have jumped off too. So
well, that's different. So you can jump off that bridge.
But yes, thank you for sharing that. Friends are definitely people who will tell you when you're wrong. Anyone else want to share their favorite key?
Hi, yes. I am only going to be on here for a little bit because I do have another meeting, but I wanted to make sure that I caught. Hey, Sarah. I wanted to make sure that I caught what I could. But two of the keys that definitely stood out to me were key 25 and key 27. Friends that don't judge you, and friends that accept you for who you are. And as you're growing up, you kind of children, they tell you what it is all the time. They're not worried about their feelings. They're very honest. And then at some point, we learn to put on this mask and, and these pretenses. And it's difficult sometimes for you to let your walls down and let someone know who you really are, because you're not sure that they would accept, not just the good things about you, but those bad things, or not just the pretty, but the ugly. And I thought it was great that you talked about that and expressed that, your true friends, that ugly part, they see it, they try to help you through it, but they don't, run away from you when they see it.
Right.
They don't judge you when you share things that they might not agree with, or that you might even find shameful.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the people who really know you. And I think that's invaluable, because this world, especially with social media, very judgmental. They'll cancel you in a second. So
yeah,
to have, true friends that won't cancel you,
right,
but will counsel you and accept you, I think that's a really good point that you hit on.
And work through it with you. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, we tend to pass a lot of judgment. And I'm kind of not necessarily a judgy person, but I speak on things that probably shouldn't be spoken on. So probably being my friend is a little tough, because I probably do have a lot to say or something to say about everything. So yes, definitely having friends that don't judge you is a plus, because you want to have a safe place to be yourself. You want to be with someone who will allow you to be yourself. Yes, won't cancel you, but counsel you. Ingrid shared that her favorite was After the Glow Up. Me and Angel love the good glow up. Love the good glow up. So did you guys like the exercises that were in the back? How did you guys feel about those? Did any of you guys actually fill them out or work on them or anything like that? So they were in the back, and they were what qualities do you think you need to work on as a friend? What qualities do you look for in friends? Or what keys do you look for in friends? And what is the most rewarding part? So go ahead.
Hey, Shay, how are you?
Hey, May.
Congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
I'm just starting it with everything that I have going on, but I'm sorry that you lost me.
Has known us since we were kids. She knew me and Angel since we was little kids, since our friendship started. I'm sorry.
So I am so sorry that you lost Angel, and I know that you and Angel were the like two peas in a pod, basically to say. And as you said, I watched you grow up. Before I just wanted to get started as talking about a friend, because it really hits home when you talk about friends and friendship. But one thing that I want to say during the course of this now, you first have to define what friendship is. That's very important, because first you have to love who you are and what you're looking for in a friend before you go and find a friend. That's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm doing a self-evaluation of how I want to be treated, who I want to be around. Who's going to have an impact on my life. So I think those types of keys also, on top of everything else that you have, is also ignition on the fact that first you got to know, can you be a friend to you first? Can you go and do different things with yourself before you come and have someone else, have an impact on your life? By you losing Angel, now you know the different things that you want to tell people on how friendship is and how friendship should be. So you first had to know that now you know that within you. So I first think that a friendship starts with you first and spreads abroad when it comes to being a friend. And I'm starting to take friendship very seriously. You have to know that when you have a friend, are they happy for you? Are they happy about where you're going or what you're doing? For me, as you said, I'm a picture taker. I take thousands and thousands of pictures and a whole bunch of memories. I'm memory lane. Because I feel like any type of friendship, whether it's a mother and daughter friendship, whether it's a father friendship, it's impactful and it's important to oneself. So you talking about friendship, maybe along down the line, you'll be talking about the different types of friendships that come along within play and bring it all together. Although you and Angel had a friendship as friendship, you should have a friendship with anyone that you come in contact with.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Agree. Thank you for sharing that, Elizabeth. She's right. So the scripture in the Bible, show yourself friendly to become to receive a good friend, is very true. Just like dating, when they say, like, before you get married, you have to learn to be by yourself. You have to learn to be single first. Then you learn to mesh with another person. It's just same with friendship. You have to work on your own qualities first before you can just jump into being a friend. And I always say, my oldest brother was my first friend, because friendship does kind of start in a household. If you have siblings, it starts with the people closest to you, and the way they treat you, the way you treat them, that's how you learn how to be a good friend. You have to learn who you are first and know who you are first before you go out and decide, what type of friend you want to be. Thank you for sharing that, May.
So I seen in the chat someone wrote, won't cancel, but will counsel you. I really like that. So here's another one to throw in the mix. Friendship starts within.
Yes, I like that. Write it down too. It does start within. Within. Between you and the Lord. Well, I guess that song, "What a Friend We Have in Jesus." That's the truth. I ain't gonna take you out of church though. Anyone else want to share?
Well, Shane, this is Yvette Torbert. Good evening.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm good.
I have enjoyed what I've heard thus far. I had to be on mute for a little bit when I joined, but I had so many favorite keys. I think for me, the difficulty again with just being able to get through reading the book was knowing Angel, but it was beautifully written. And I began to think about my friendships, those people that I do call friends, and those people that had so many of the keys that were in the book in my life. And it did get me to really reflect and think about those things over my 30 years. My very best friend, of course, has become my husband, but even my sister-in-law, we have a friendship. I like what Liz was saying, is that the friendship starts within. So in order for you to get past some things that may have, not allowed you to be able to reflect on yourself or value yourself, you really can't be a good friend to somebody else until you love your own self. But one of my favorite keys was friends that choose you. That was key 20. And the reason I love that so much is because even as a child, when you grow up and you don't have the best of everything, and you're not the most popular, and you're not the cutest, you're not the smartest, you're not the most athletic, how beautiful to have a friend that chooses you. My children know about the friend that I always talk about that nobody wanted me to be with. Nobody wanted me to be with her, but no matter where she was, whatever she did, even with her own family, she chose me. She chose me. And that placed something in my heart and in my confidence that it's just been invaluable throughout my life, that she chose me. I even have another dear classmate, and I say her name often because she doesn't even know she was my friend, but she's just a wonderful person to everybody. And her name is Nitra Austin. I went to high school with her, and even to this day, if you see us fanning out on Facebook, that's because Nitra doesn't even know she was my friend, but she always treated me with respect. And even with the cool kids, because that's where she was at. She always respected me. She always honored me. She always spoke to me. And that built a confidence in me. So I love that, friends that choose you, because as a young person, it takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage to choose somebody that everybody else doesn't. And I love that we've been talking about that cancel culture, because it's always sad to me that even when we know to do the right thing, we go with everybody else. And that can be detrimental for some people. Everybody remembers somebody that everybody didn't like, and you might have liked them, but you wanted to go with the crowd. So how brave of those people that choose us as friends and that choose us as friends and that will be our friends no matter what. And that's something that I always valued about both Shay and Angel's friendship. I also loved how so many people loved her. And she was a best friend to so many people, even though then, Shay and Angel been best friends since sixth grade. A lot of people loved Angel as their best friend. That says so much about a person. I mean, it's just remarkable. And so I loved how you wrote this book. I thought it was absolutely beautifully done as a legacy to Angel, but also talking about what a friend is. They don't have to be perfect. I think that's what people are thinking. I think, Shay, you might have experienced this, but anytime you call yourself the expert on something or you decide to write about something, people can throw that up to you. So they think that you're the expert in friendship, and that's not what you're saying. Neither are we saying that Angel was the only best friend in the planet. What we're saying is that through your experience as her best friend and vice versa, you were able to pull nuggets out to teach us, to talk to us, and to show us how to value our friendships and our friends. So I thank you for that.
Thank you for sharing, Mommy.
You're welcome.
So as y'all read this book, there's a prompt in the back that says, what's the most rewarding part of being a friend? What do y'all think is the most rewarding part of being your friend? What type of qualities do you guys possess that you think is one of a kind, or even just something that people would really value in a friendship?
For me, I would say acceptance. Like, I accept anybody, regardless of where they're at in their life. I'm not a real judgy type of person. I'll tell you about yourself and I help you get to somewhere better. But I realize that some people they just are who they are. And we have certain expectations of people and what they should be and how they should be, and that might not be the expectation that they have for themselves. So I feel like my quality is I could be in a room with the lowest of the lowest type of person and make them feel like they're the biggest person in the room. And I could be in a room with doggone president of the United States and act accordingly and be their friend. So that's one thing that I love about me is, like, I'm a chameleonaire and I'm genuine while I am in these different circles of friends.
Yes.
So authenticity, an authentic friend, and an accepting friend.
Yes. I like that. Thank you for sharing, Ingrid. Yo, Alexis, you was going to say something?
Okay, I was struggling over here again. I was gonna say the same thing that she said, just being genuine and authentic, because a lot of people are not real, and just being genuine. Like, you don't have to fake the funk or any of that. Just be yourself.
Definitely.
So,
Thank you.
I would say someone that can listen and understand and support you. The reason I say that is because one minute you can be high and everything's good, then the next minute you can be in the valley low. I want a friend that can listen to me when I'm on top and I'm on the bottom, and lukewarm in between. I think that that's very important, because if you can have someone that sticks with you when everything's good and everything's bad, then I think that's a true friend as well.
That's good. Dr. Goodrich, she said somebody to protect your heart. That's along the lines of what you just said. Someone who will be there through the good, bad, and the warm and the in-betweens, because you have to protect people's hearts, because friendship is something that you're vulnerable. You are vulnerable with another person. You share secrets, you share who you are, you share things that you might not share with the whole world. So protecting their heart is very important. Let me read this comment. Jada says, I love to see my friends win and celebrate their success. And I always say that I'm going to be the realest friend you know. And I will always tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. Jada is telling the truth. Jada is telling the truth. And that's true. That's very true. Seeing your friends win is something that I really value, because a lot of times friendships don't succeed because people are envious. They're jealous. They don't really want to see you win. They just want you around as long as they can step on you, or as long as you're not doing better than them. But when you have a real friend, they want to see you win. Every accomplishment I had, Angel was there clapping in my corner. No matter what I did, she was clapping in my corner, because wherever I'm going, she knows she's coming with me too. And that's how real friendships should be. I've had friends that have gone off to do great things and just forgot about me. They just forgot about me, and I was the one that was in their corner the whole time. I may have even been the one that told them to audition or do whatever they did to get where they're going. And when they got there, they just forgot about me. So friends are those people who remember you, who are happy for your success, and who are there with you, even from the bottom to the top. AJ.
Hey.
Hey, girl. That's my little sis.
Hope everyone's having a great day. Yeah, this is my big sis. Known each other since college. And I think something that is very important. I'm already being a bad little sister. I still haven't gotten your book, which I'm ordering it right now as we speak. I'm gonna read it when it gets here. But just listening to everyone's conversation, and even doing some self-reflecting on friends for myself, like I think it's very important to know who are your roots, like who are your core people that are going to stay with you. I mean, I've had I say acquaintances now due to the fact that I realized they weren't real friends. But I've had acquaintances where they would say, girl, you haven't picked up a phone, you haven't called me in like 6 months. And it's like, well, phone works both ways, it's not always decided, and we do get sidetracked in our own lives. So I think a great value of friendship is being able to be there when you can. And when you are able to put your friends first, that's important. As far as what are you able to do. So I think at the end of the day, like something that I've always tried to strive for is when my friends need me, trying to put them first, because life happens and life and it's hard to always do that. But I think it's good to set boundaries and make sure like your friends understand are and where they are, and that when it does come down to the wire, because I can call Shay and we could pick up like we never left off, or you come down here to Florida and it's you've never given energy that's like, girl, you don't call me, you don't check up on me, you don't make me feel like I'm a bad friend for not checking in. I know that is helpful to do that when you do get a chance to do that. But, I have a few core friends that I know that anything that's going on in our lives, like we understand life happens. And I think just being there when you can is most important. But I just want to tell you, I'm so proud of you. I love you. Currently at baseball, fixing some things up, but I wanted to say hey, and we miss you. Hopefully you come see us soon, okay?
Yes, I'll be down there soon.
Hey, Mama Torbert.
I love what AJ said, Shay, because that's a good point. And then I'm not gonna say anything else. But
okay.
your friends aren't superheroes. I mean, life changes as people go along. Some people on this line have probably had friends back to elementary school and beyond. Can you imagine having a friend over a 30-year or plus time span? How your life changes so much? Nobody's a superhero. We talk about mental health all the time. How can I meet your every need all the time? So I love what AJ said, because I have friends that are my friends, like my sister, my sisters. We don't talk all the time. I'm not a phone person, first of all. I'll text you all day. I'll text you a book. If I'm with you, I'm going to talk to you a couple hours. But I'm not a phone person. So if people held me to that standard with my 3 kids and all of my organizations and my church responsibilities and on and on and on like everybody else, That's not fair. Life changes. You might have met somebody in elementary school and now they have 6 kids and have a corporate career. That's just not fair. We just are unreasonable with that. And I think that that's very sad. But when something tragic happens or when a life moment happens and I know that's going on with my friend, I try my best to push my things aside to be there. But we all going through things and it's not fair to expect from a friend to be a superhero. So I love AJ's comment. That's beautiful.
Yes, that is. Thank you guys for sharing that.
Can you hear me, Shay Shay?
Yes, hey Dad.
Hey.
Hey,
I
best
was just
friend.
sitting here thinking, hey, sweetheart. I was just sitting here thinking about friends. Like my wife was just saying that I have a couple of friends. I have about 4 besides her. She's the 5th. I have 2 from the military and 2 from childhood. And so, but I appreciate those friendships, the longevity of friendship. Every time I see them, I could talk like we just got through talking last night or talking last week. We have that connection and we know that we're there for one another. And also, I appreciate you writing the book. You had the foresight to see the longevity of the impact, not only today. You had mentioned little Stephen later on down the road, impact 10 or 15 years down the road. He could see his mother, what type of mother she was, what type of friend she was, what type of sister in Christ she was. So I just thank you for having that foresight. And also, since it came up the other day, I thought about a little funny story when you and I and Angel was over in Orlando. I go in the store and buy a suit. Then I come out, Shay and Angel, they looking funny. And I'm wondering what's going on. What are they doing out there? But they had a couple girls from Coco had rolled up, so they were about to tie up with them out in the parking lot. Or somebody just talked about friends stick. You stick together with your friend, you don't let your friends get whooped up. So her and Angel about to throw down with 2 girls in the parking lot while I'm in the store. And it was just amazing. We 40 miles from home, and they about to fight out in the parking lot. But that's the type of friends they were. Angel was at a lot of our events, like the other year, about a couple of years ago before she had passed. May have been the same year. We had 1 auntie and 2 cousins. They all turned 80. Actually, they turned 80 in the same month, next month, September. They were all 80, and Angel was there for that. That was the type of friend that Angel was. She was at a lot of our events, and we was at a lot of her events as well. So that's a good friend. So I appreciate you, Shay, for writing the book, to having the foresight to know that the impact, not only today, but 5 years or 10 years down the road, the impact. So I appreciate that. And I thank you all for being on the line and supporting Shay as well. Amen. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for sharing, Dan. Yes, friends.
Hope I didn't put you on the front street.
No, you didn't, because ain't nobody gonna whoop up on me and ain't nobody gonna whoop up on Angel.
Yeah, that was a fact. That was a fact. And I would say the last thing, I appreciate Angel just for joining the military. Military was dear and near to my heart. I remember when she first asked me about it. Angel was, I think she played point guard in high school, and she was an excellent athlete. I told her, hey, you physically fit, and I know that you mentally fit. Military, you do well in the military, and she did. She was doing exceptional. She wanted to be a warrant officer. I know that she was going to follow her dream after she became an NCO, and she was going to be a warrant officer as well. So, but I just thank God for the life that Angel lived and the impact that she had on us. Love y'all. Be blessed.
Thank you, Dan. Anybody else have anything they want to share, say about the book, about Angel, about me, anything? Thank the book club for letting other people join us. The Queendom Business Book Club. Next month, we are reading The Perfect Marriage. I think, is it by Alita Rose? I don't have it in front of me right now. I think that's what it's
There's
by.
no such thing. So get that out your head.
The work of fiction.
I hate to spoil it for you.
It's a fiction book.
It's fiction. We have a fiction book club here, and we read mystery books. So
I thought y'all were talking about some real stuff. Okay,
no,
okay. Well, there might be a make-believe out there. Okay.
No, this is a book about scandals.
There's a lot of that going on.
There is. Yep, like there's no perfect marriage, there's no perfect friendship. So I just want you guys to know that continue to cultivate your friendships, work on them, work on yourself. It's a process. It's not going to be simple. Me and Angel fought. we had our fights, and it's not always going to be peaches and cream. But the beauty about it is when somebody is there to work with you through it, and they're not just willing to throw you by the wayside. I think AJ shared something earlier about, picking up where you left off. Hey, Catherine, you want to say something?
Yes. First, I just want to thank you so much for inviting me just to join, and thank you everyone for inviting me allowing Shay to invite me to join you all as you all just discussed the book. I haven't purchased the book, Shay, but I just wanted to just give you a comment, just letting you know that I admire you. I'm just so proud of what God is doing in your life as you're going forward. Even with the book club, as you're sharing your story and Angel's story, if I can just add in just how touching it is just to have friends, whether it be sisters in Christ or just real friends, sisters, friends. And even the word says that, a friend stick it closer than a brother. And what I'm learning, even in my close friendships today, sometimes we look for just friendships outside of what we have, and we look at what we don't have, the people that are not supporting, the people that are not there when we have the things that we need right in front of us. So it's just like, even being just honest and transparent, just knowing what real loyalty and acceptance is. We're looking at the things that we already have in us. If we can be that true friend, or there in a time of need when others need it, then it's just like we'll be able to draw what we already have in us. So it's just the understanding, the appreciation, and and just knowing that you are a friend. You are a friend first. And I don't know if somebody already said it, but you are a friend first before you receive that friendship from others. So I just thank you just so much for the invitation. I thank you all so much for just sharing the words, just even about friends. I don't have a close friend, but I do have sisters in Christ. And it's just, just touching that, that God can still give you people that can understand you, people that can minister to you, people that can encourage you, even support you in your time of need. So that's all I wanted to say, and just keep up the great work. Love you.
Thank you. Love you too. What I'm trying to figure out how to put this. You said you don't have a close friend, but if that's your desire, I encourage you to pray for that. It's never too late to get a friend. Somebody read my book, and I think is she 78 years old? One of the mothers read my book, and she said that she never had a close friend, never had a best friend. She just always been kind of in the servant's role, just serving people and, being there for people when they need them, or, being a godmother to the children, something like that. But she never had anyone close to her as a friend, just a friend or a best friend. And she said after she read my book, she began praying like, okay, God, like, what's going on? And she said, literally 2 of the other mothers in her church, they just started having lunch together every day. And then they just started cultivating a friendship. And now they're like her best friends. Like since the book came out, they have become her best friends. And she really never realized that she wanted a best friend. I don't think that she ever wanted for her. She wasn't missing anything, but she realized after she read the book that, this would be nice. So it's never too late. If that's something you desire, pray for that. Because God, God is the God of all things, and your heart's desires, if that's what you want, pray for that definitely, and He will send you somebody. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining. I truly appreciate it. Everything that you guys have done, everyone on the line, y'all have been a part of my story in some way, shape, fashion, or form. Literally everyone on here. I appreciate you guys for joining the book. And if you haven't got the book, buy the book, Lessons from an Angel. My mama has it. I don't know why her screen is blurry. I got it too. Lessons from an Angel. If you haven't bought it, it's a good book. If you read fiction books, we have a mystery book club, Queendom Business Book Club. We read a book every month. You can go to the Instagram Queendom Business and see the books that we will be reading coming up. So thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it, and you guys have a good night and rest up. Go pray for some friends, pray for some more friends, pray for your friends, pray for your circle. Pray. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you guys.